Boom. What's up, guys? Coach Mo here, along with Coach Malfa. Today, we'll be talking about something that is very dear to our hearts, and that is how to make this fitness lifestyle work for your lifestyle, especially if you have a 9-to-5 job, or you travel a lot for work, or if you have a desk job as well. If you're a construction worker who's already pretty active, this might not be the best use of your time, but everybody else listen in, because we're going to be sharing a lot of gold on this, on how to make this fitness thing very practical. One of the things that Madison and I get asked often from our clients is, hey man, like I love this and I love fitness, I love going to the gym, but what should I do when I travel? What should I do when life is out of whack or something is like not 100% at home? So that's what we'll be talking about. You excited about this, Madison?
Oh, hell yeah. So there's, last few podcasts, we kind of talked about, some details of specific things to do, but overall, how to make everything work, and just the discipline of consistency is ultimately how we get to the end goal. Right? You can have all the skills in the world and be a great athlete, but if you're not being disciplined and doing what you have to do consistently over time, you're still not going to get to your goal. And so today's podcast, I think we're going to give a lot of tools and ways to make some of that discipline and some of that consistency a little bit easier to fit into your life.
100%. And guys, let's begin with the most common misconception / limiting belief that a lot of busy professionals have. So I was talking to a plastic surgeon the other day, and plastic surgeons among doctors are generally the most healthiest because they actually sell that. They sell looks, right? And he was telling me how his energy levels are low. Like he was saying, like he used to be able to do, cases as long as, 8 to 10 hour longs. And now, like at the end of the day, his legs just give up. He just loses it. He comes back home, and then he doesn't have any energy for his family. So, guys, very common mistake, very common thing that I hear is, I just live a really busy lifestyle. Like I just can't go to the gym and do 5 workouts a week. I can't eat healthy. Like all of this, guys. Let me be your older brother. And let us be your older brothers and tell you that it is very doable. Very doable.
Bro Mo.
What is it?
Now you're going to hear from Bro Mo.
Bro Mo, let's bring it, baby. So guys, it is very doable. First of all, that's what I want you to hear. No matter how busy your lifestyle is, fitness can still be part of your life, and you can still be the best. You can still be in the best shape of your life. So now let's talk about how to get you there, right? So number one thing, we'll be prioritizing a lot of things. So I want you guys to really take notes on this podcast, because this is all from the heart. I travel a lot for work. I travel a lot for business. So I'm always on the go on the weekends. Like I can't remember a full week of eating at home. I just can't, because for the last 2 years, I've been on the road. I've traveled to now 46, 47 states inside America, a lot of them being road trips, a lot of them being on the plane. Just the whole deal. So when it comes to a busy lifestyle, trust me, I get it. And Madison, on the other hand, would you like to share what makes you like such a busy person too? Because I know throughout the week, it's almost impossible to even record these podcasts.
Yeah. So for me, my week's very busy. I have more of a 9 to 5-ish kind of schedule. It's a little bit different than that hour wise. Luckily I get like every other Friday off, but I have to work more hours to make up those hours, because it's still 80 hours every 2 weeks. And I also travel occasionally, not nearly as much as Mo travels all the time. And just to go into everything that we're saying, that fitness not only can be part of a busy lifestyle, when you learn to integrate it, it will make you less busy, because it will make you better, more effective, more efficient. And some of the tips and things that we're going to discuss on how to make fitness fit in will also make everything else fit in better. Right. So being a very, very basic one, which we're not going to even, before I even started the groundwork, this is more like just a tip one, but being well rested and getting good sleep will make you better at everything you do all day. For instance, whether it be doing some simple menial task at home, it might take you 10 minutes because you keep dazing off into space and losing your focus, where it would take you a third of the time if you were able to be focused, on point, and on task and just got it done. You'll be more effective at work. You'll probably do better in your job. You'll get those promotions, and you'll make better usage of all your time all day if you're well rested and doing well. Being chronically sleep deprived is the biggest way not only to trash your health, trash your effectiveness, but there are so many wide-reaching effects. So that's the first thing. And so for someone who's working a 9-to-5 job, it's a little bit different if you're traveling. But if you're someone who has a relatively consistent schedule, building habits and ways to maximize your time are really going to save you time in the long run. Sometimes a slightly larger time investment up front will save you a lot of time throughout your week. Like for me, meal prepping, I do it one day a week, and it saves, rather than cooking every day of the week, I cook like once for like a couple hours, and I have food for a whole week. That's
100%.
just one example.
Yeah, so like just to begin with that, let's start with people so guys, like let me share some statistics with you. Majority of America right now is overweight and obese. And when you are working in corporate America, or when you're working in any professional place, you will realize that 60 to 80% of your coworkers are overweight and obese. So here you are, you want a better life, you want better health, you want this, you want a better physique, you want abs, you want this, but you're around people who don't share those common goals. So first thing first, I want you to get super clear on who you want to be, okay? And that doesn't mean quitting your job, because you thinking that your coworkers are stopping you is the bullshit story that you are telling yourself. It's not true. Madison and I, when we pick jobs or when we get hired for certain things, we don't get to pick who we work with, guys. You won't ever have that luxury. So you going in, see, here's the thing. Either the world adjusts to you or you adjust to the world, right? So if you go in and you're like, okay, Susan brought in donuts, Charlie over there brought in lasagna, and there's
Sandy has her candy bowl out as always.
Right? Sandy has that.
There's a minefield at work. For those of you that work in offices will know that.
Right, 100%. And so you're like, okay, but I need to lose this. There's too much fat in my lower belly. I need to lose it because I'm not having the sex I want to have. I don't have the energy I want to have. I don't have the productivity I need to have. So there you are, being different, wanting different things. But then you're looking for them to give you energy and support. They're not going to fucking support you. It's your goal. It's your responsibility to be energized and ready to go. So here's what you do, guys. Number one thing. I hate saying it, but get clear on your goals. And what I mean by get clear on your goals is that, are you losing weight or are you trying to gain weight? Because when you're trying to gain weight, it's okay to have Charlie's donut once in a while. It's okay, go for it, because that mental willpower will actually help you in the long run versus always being restrictive. But if you're trying to lose weight, okay, now we have a clear objection. Okay, so now I'm going to start and then I'm going to hand it off to Madison. So now we have a clear objective for a 9-to-5 person trying to lose weight, and he or she is surrounded by people who are not big into health. All right, guys. So number one thing, when you're at home, I want you to be very strategic. So just like Madison said, every Sunday morning, no matter, even if it's you have to go to church, you go to church a little later, but the first thing you should do is meal prep or plan it on your schedule. At least it takes me no more than 2 to 3 hours, no more than that. So if you already buy your groceries on a Saturday, you are ready
once
to
a
go.
week versus doing that every night.
And that's what's messing you up, guys. When you go to work without any food, you are 100% more likely to go to the cafeteria and get 3 slices of pizza and a bottle of extra vanilla Diet Coke. You're more likely to do that. So Now you on Sunday, you got your meals prepped, but most of you don't even know how to prep your meals, right? Because all your life you've been told you're a shitty cook. Don't worry about it. All you got to do, I'm a shitty cook too, but I can still prep my meals because it's really that simple. All you need, here's what you need, guys. All you need is a good protein source. So pick one. You got chicken, you got turkey, you got fish, you got like 5 others, okay? Just pick one. Start with basic. Beef, right? So beef, okay. So chicken, turkey, fish, and beef, okay? That's your protein source. So cooking it doesn't have to be complicated. Just watch a YouTube video. It takes me 10, 15 minutes and I'm done. I just put it on the, put some oil in it and boom, it's done. So that's your protein source. Second would be your carbohydrate source. So pick rice, potatoes. What else is a good protein? Carb source. Sweet potatoes. Oatmeal. So pick one. Now make that. So then like you have 5, at least prepare 5 to 10 meals. I used to, when I was like in that 9 to 5 life, I used to prepare all my lunches. So every Sunday I would prepare all of my lunches. So it was like no question about it. And so you got your protein covered, you got your carbohydrates covered. Now all you got to do is add vegetables to it. So for your fiber intake and just, make you feel good. Once you start, buy like little Tupperware, put in it, and then take it to work, guys. That's all. And when it comes time for lunch, you pull that thing out, put it in a microwave, and trust me, if you don't feel good after eating that meal, you can have your $20 back. Because the energy you'll get versus the energy you get after eating 3 slices of pizza with French fries will be a whole lot different. Exactly. You want to fall asleep. So eating these good sources of nutrition will change your productivity at work at the minimum. The rest of it will be other health benefits. So then you got that covered. Now, Madison, tell us about, once they have the nutrition side covered, and obviously guys, like you can buy protein bars and have little snacks throughout the day, because then you'll start noticing that sometimes like you start work at 8, but you have lunch at 12, at 10 o'clock, you start getting hungry. So at that time, you can have a small snack. You can have like a Greek yogurt, get 10, 15 grams of protein from that. And you can actually work around it. So then you never are hungry enough to go over to Sandy's and steal her candies. Like you only do that when you're hungry. So when you're filled, you don't want to do that. So now Madison, tell us how to like keep the body moving when you're in that 9 to 5 office desk.
Absolutely. So that's important too. And like another thing, there is one exception to what you just said about that. If you're not hungry, you might still want to go over to Sandy's candy. And that's because, well, sometimes at work you get fucking bored. And a lot of people, when they're bored, they just want to eat something because they want something to do. But rather than eating something, and also just throughout the day, it's good to just get up and take a walk around, get away from the computer screen. Just get your blood moving. If you go for a 5-minute walk, a 10-minute walk, depending on what you can fit into your job. Heck, go to the bathroom, run to your car, run back, depending on what you can feasibly make work for your job. But get moving. So, staying moving is good. Just try to get your if you just take like a quick 10-minute walk on your lunch breaks, or after you eat your food, that'll help with your digestion. That'll help with your insulin sensitivity. It helps you feel better too. You'll just have a lot more energy rather than crashing after that meal. You'll feel a lot better. And I think a really big point that goes into the meal planning too is here's probably one of the biggest tips for your whole week, and that's to get, whether it's a planner or a little calendar, and you want to schedule out your week. And you don't have to do this all the time, but do it for a few weeks. Block off the time that you're at work. Block off how long it takes you to get there. Block off, okay, I'm doing my meal prep. That's about 2 hours here on Sunday, and fit things around. So now okay, well, after I get out of work, I have about 5 hours before I need to get to bed in order to get enough sleep. So that's 5 hours for you to play with. So that when the time's after work, that's where you plug in your gym, whether it's after work or in the morning or whatever works and feels best for you. But write it all down, and write down not just the things that you have to do. Do that. Write down the things you want to do. I'm going to spend time with my family here. I'm going to play with my kids here. Schedule it in, because if you schedule it in, it's going to get done. Then, and the things you should focus on scheduling in are the big, what I call the big rocks, the important things. Right? Don't worry about the little menial bullshit stuff. That stuff will happen all by itself. You will do it. You won't have to cue yourself to do it. But put down the big.
So you're saying I shouldn't take my greens fucking smoothie with the cleansing kit in it, and I shouldn't worry about that?
Not right now. If you want to take it, you'll do it anyways. The little bullshit things, sending the emails, and whatever little things it is that you got to do, you'll do anyways. But all those things that you
and like I would just add that you will always have distractions. And when it comes to health, guys, the reason we're telling you to meal prep is because we want you to have the big rocks in order. So then you're not worried about, because like beginners, man, like especially like a lot of people that I've seen work in corporate America, a lot of them have that whole like meal timing. They're just obsessed over meal timing. They're obsessed over salads. They're obsessed over little things that have kept their body the same way for the last 20 years. And if you're trying to make a change, see, it's a lot easier to maintain a good physique than it is to get there. So to get there, you'll have to make sacrifices. But trust me, those sacrifices won't feel like sacrifices if we plan it well enough, because then you'll be good to go. I have more clients who come to me eating 1,200 calories, and then when they get shredded, they're at 16, 17, 18, 1,900 calories. So like, there's a lot that goes into this, and I don't want to confuse all of you with this, but what Madison and I were saying was that, like, get the big rocks in order. And the biggest rock for you guys would be meal prepping, especially for you people who are not traveling, but just going to the office back and forth. Like you work at a desk job in the same office every day of the week. And that's a lot of people for sure.
Absolutely. And again, it's a time saving, right? Because rather than not only are you going to be eating better during your day, you don't have to cook dinner that night. That's already ready. You're not going to, when I was like, oh, let's go out to lunch to whatever sandwich shop or pizza. Yeah. You'll be like, no, I got my meal. Or, if you want to go, you can bring it and stick to what you need to do.
100%.
So you schedule it all in. When you get done with work, we'll say that you're going after work. You after you get home, get your ass right to the gym. If you don't like going home first, maybe go straight to the gym. Find ways to fit it into your day that it feels good. Personally, I like coming home first. I like changing. I like getting ready, and then I go, and then I come back, and then I relax for my night. But I don't have to worry about food because I meal prepped. I bring 4 meals with me to work. So don't think that you went with that. You need to, depending on you and your goals and where you are, right? You need to think about how much you need to eat and what you're doing. Don't think that when we say meal prep, it only means, oh, I'm just bringing lunch. Because like Mo said, you might get those hunger cravings. You might want a snack, or you might want this, you might want that.
Do you really take 4 meals to work?
Yeah, every day. Every day. I bring 4 meals to work.
How many meals do you prep for on Sunday? Like how many Tupperware?
What I do is I make like a big batch of stuff, and then I'll put because I don't have like a million little Tupperwares, because I like to use glass ones, because I like to reheat in glass versus plastic. But then I just I'll wash out and just refill like the same 4 or 5 every day. But then I'll have like a big bucket that I fill in from. But that's just how I do it, because then I eat like at least 1 or 2 times after that too. So, but again, for everyone's reference, I'm like 240 pounds right now, and I'm also trying to gain. I'm gaining weight. So, it's relative, but
I love it.
With those formulas, I get hungry still too a
lot. No, and guys, like once you start living this healthy, see, here's the thing, guys. And let me just help you break those beliefs that you've been lied to about. So a lot of you see that because Michelle at work is really slim and she looks great in a bikini, you think that Michelle is that way because she eats salads and doesn't eat anything else. And a lot of you in particular that I talk to are generally very confused about whether to eat more or whether to eat less. Now, when you're building muscle, and if you're a guy or if you're a girl and you're trying to get stronger, guys, it is very important to get sufficient amount of protein, right? And you gotta like eat your meals, right carbs, right fats, avocados, all of those things. And if you're starving yourself, you are setting yourself up for failure as well. And that's why like these podcasts are so hard for me as a coach, because there's a reason me and Madison do one-on-one coaching. Like if I guys, it's like if
Very
I,
hard to talk generally.
what is it?
Very hard to talk very generally.
And guys, like, and if I could just give you all of my knowledge and plan on one sheet of paper, I fucking do it in a second. But it's just every person is different. Every person has different goals. Every person reacts differently to certain things. And that's the point of having 12-week one-on-one coaching. So we make adjustments every week. Like every client with me who has gotten results, which is a lot of them, every single one required a moderately different strategy. Like there was not a single one which was like, yeah, we just did that and this is what got us there, right? And that's why like the other day I had a client tell me that he before signing up with me, he wasn't doing like all the reps that his coach wanted him to do at the gym because he read on Instagram that anything over 5 reps is cardio. And I'm like, holy ish, man. Like, I'm so glad you told me that, because we got to stop that. And the thing is, guys, like in the bodybuilding and fitness community, especially in the flexible dieting world, and in the flexible dieting world, you always see people talk about how, like, oh man, donuts for day, and I eat donuts all day, and that's what gains are for, and I don't have to restrict myself. And there you are, fucking confused again, because you're like, fucking Michelle eats salads every day. She doesn't eat donuts, and she's the example I have in front of me. So now, now we're also telling you things that kind of sound like a generalization, but if you do these things, you will be up to a good point where then you can contact for one-on-one coaching or whatever you want to do. But remember, guys, this is hard even for us to tell you, because we are talking to an audience that's a lot bigger than 1 or 2 people. So we're going to have to use some generalizations. And as much as me and Madison being scientists, as much as we hate to do that, how else can we support you? So it's like we're also like hitting the wall here. So Madison, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that's the thing about when I coach too. There's nothing's cookie cutter. Every time I work with somebody, it's everything's on a I evaluate that person where they are right now. We look at your past. We look at why you are where you are, what your situation is, and then also going forward, you see how your body reacts. Some people react really great to carbs. Some people don't. I've worked with both. Some people you give carbs, they get leaner, they get bigger, they get stronger. Some people you give carbs, they blow up and get fat. That I'm kind of like that too. It's very, very tricky with me. If I start having too much carbs, I get really fat and bloated really, really fast. But other people, it's not the case at all. People react differently to different things.
And plus, a lot of you are fucking stuck at doing home workouts where you're like doing Pilates and shit like that, where you're not gonna use those carbs for fuel. Like with my guys who are, even girls who are training like maniacs, like really good strength training in the gym, like they're beast mode. When I feed them carbs, a lot of them respond really well. Like I've had guys who were on keto and just like within 2 weeks, they start seeing results, even with the added carbs, because then they're stronger at the gym. The lean mass starts showing up. So guys, there are a lot of factors that go into it. And trust me, I'm not being condescending to any of you.
Yeah, it's a tool, and some people, and there's a time for it too. Like I'm eating carbs right now, for the record, right? But likewise, I have to be careful with that. It's very easy for me to go overboard with it, and I train really, really hard. And a big part of how I coach people and the system that I use is the training. And almost always, when I work with somebody, calories go up. very like, and usually even if someone's goal is weight loss, their calories are usually going up for at least a while before they ever come down. But I think I lost where I was going.
Oh, so
But yeah, everything's case by case, so it's very hard to make generalizations.
but
One easy one I can make here is going back to protein. When you should be eating roughly 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight in protein. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be eating roughly 200 to 300 grams of protein. Is that math right?
yep. Oh yeah. And I think like that is a very great recommendation. And that recommendation has come from all the way from 1970s, from Arnold's days to all the science we have today.
Yeah, the research all backs those numbers up.
So just like, and now like, how are you going to measure that? How the fuck are you going to make sense of like 200 grams of protein? How are you going to eat it? Because all day you're surrounded by carbohydrates. It's so easy to consume a lot of carbohydrates. You go to the fucking Starbucks and you will have like, you can load up on 500 grams of carbs in just 2 meals, right? So how do we assure that you eat enough protein? Now, guys, a lot of you listening want to maintain a healthier lifestyle. A lot of you listening want to build more muscle. A lot of you listening want to increase your testosterone. A lot of you listening want to have a better sex life. A lot of you listening just want a better fucking health. So then like, but you're surrounded by people who love carbohydrates and they're all over the place, and there's nothing wrong with carbs, but there's a time and place for it, right? So when you like, as a professional, I'm warning you that you will have a lot easier time getting your carbohydrates in versus getting your protein in. So now let's set our priorities straight. See, when you plan for the worst case scenario, the good case scenario is already covered. You don't have to plan for that, right? And so in this case, here's what you do. Every morning, right? Every morning you wake up and so let's say like most Americans are around 150, 160. I think that's like pretty, I don't know if that's undershooting it, but let's say like most Americans, most audience, most of our,
It's probably low for a guy, right?
yeah, like
I don't know.
for
I think
5'6", 5'7", like that's pretty general, right?
I think that's slightly low, but I think guys are average between 165 210.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So let's say a guy who weighs 170, right? And even a girl, even a woman who weighs that much. So we're going to use that as our mannequin, as our model. So a person who weighs 170. Now they, according to Madison's formula, they need 170 to 220 grams of protein. Okay. How are you going to get there? Well, pretty simple. To get there, you can distribute it among your lifestyle, however many meals you can eat. But first thing first, every morning, I want you to have at least 20 to 30 grams of protein. So you can get that via eggs. You can get that with with a Greek yogurt. So what I would normally do is I would do each egg, if you cook it whole, is about 6 to 7 grams of protein. So then you put 3 of them together, you have 21 grams, 3 eggs, along with a Greek yogurt with another 10 grams of protein. Now you're at 30 grams of protein for your breakfast. And then you can add 2 slices of bread and make it another, 20, 30 grams of carbs. So then you go to work at lunch or even before lunch. So you still have about 140 grams of protein to go. So then at like 10 o'clock, you can have a protein smoothie or, like a protein shake, or not even protein shake. I would just recommend, like, if you are into Greek yogurt, have another one of those. If you're into protein bars, have one of those. And then when it comes time for lunch, now you're left with 130 or 120 grams of protein. So then your lunch should be a good chicken breast or a good fish fillet or a good steak. Anything that's about like 8 to 10 ounces of lean protein, that should give you another 60 to 80 grams of protein. So you just eat that. Now you're left with from, about 120 to, you're left with about like 50 to 70 grams. And that when you go home, you go to work out, you have a protein shake with 2 scoops. Now you're adding up another 50 grams. So boom, you're at that 170 grams of protein mark. Did that look hard? No. Is it going to require some discipline? Yes. And once you get it going, then start worrying about your calories. Then, or like, there are all these things that go into place, but you are thinking of them as 5 different things. Just get a hold of one, and then everything else will start falling into place.
Yeah, absolutely. Prioritize your protein first. Get that in. I would recommend, as much as possible, trying to go with whole food sources whenever possible. If you're having trouble putting down that much like meat or whatever, then you can use protein shakes. But as much as possible, I would say, if you can have that piece of chicken or that piece of steak or fish or whatever, go for that first.
I would agree. And I think like, yeah, I totally agree. Like before you rely on supplements, I want you to maximize your food options. Um, just because supplements are supposed to supplement your food, they're not supposed to be your food. And like food is so much better. Like you feel so much better after eating it. So imagine like at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., instead of having 2 like protein bars, you end up having like a chicken breast with some rice. Holy shit, will you feel good. Put some hot sauce on it, put some hot sauce on it with some sriracha or something. Like, bro, you'll be unstoppable. Like I'm telling you, these things are not hard. They're not hard. They actually like once you start living this lifestyle, it's like beautiful. You feel good. And people, Sandy, Michelle, Susan, Charlie, John, they'll all want to follow you. They'll all want to be like you because you will be radiating this energy. You'll be having a better, productive days at work. You won't be looking for candies. Like your life will change. The reason right now you're binge eating every other day is because some part of you or your biochemistry is not like your food is not fulfilling that need. Maybe you're low on iron. Maybe you're low on protein throughout the day. Like I gave my mom is also a 9 to 5 person, and she was like feeling really weak at work. And I looked at her diet, bro, like she was getting very minimal protein, very minimal. I started having her eat some eggs in the morning. I got her on the chicken breast lifestyle. It's life changing. She's diabetic, she has hypertension, but like just like making those little changes, she feels stronger. It has
Absolutely.
it has changed her life. So
I always feel better when I'm eating, like even when I like, if I let my carbs start coming up and I'm just eating like a lot of carbs in a day and my protein just comes down, I don't feel as good. But when I eat like a lot of protein, I always feel really, really good. And like going back to like the shake, like a shake's gonna go right through you. It's liquid, right? You're barely gonna, it's not gonna be that satisfying for that long. Um, it's a lot healthier than having a piece of candy. It's going to feel better than having a piece of candy, um, but it's just going to go right through you. Whereas that food, not only does it have the protein that the protein shake has, it also has some vitamins, some minerals, the nutrition, those micronutrients, which is always and then a lot of times that's when you have cravings. Those a lot of times the things that you're actually craving are those micronutrients. Your body's looking for that nutrition. Um, so that's why I always recommend that first. Um,
I love it. I love it. And I think like, so hopefully guys, all of you 9 to 5 professionals, hopefully that covered it for you guys. Now we're going to dive into people who travel. So now I'm talking about my management consultants, people working at the big 3, people who get to travel a lot, management consulting is big, engineers, some of them really get to travel a lot of business analysts, a lot of product specialists, a lot of my sales executives, my fellow sales executives who are always on the road trying to close big accounts. All of you, some of you don't have the luxury to pack your meals with you. So Madison, funny story here. When I was competing last year, I was only 10 days out of my show, and suddenly I had to go to Madison, Wisconsin. And I was like, all right, all the meals were there. So I pack them, I put them into because TSA, I think, wasn't letting me take it into the regular backpack. I had to book the bag. I ended up getting so delayed at Chicago airport. We get there late evening in Madison, and I get to the meals. I'm hungry. I stop at a rest area. I pull it out, and the meals are spoiled.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Right? So like, and these are meals that usually don't get spoiled as easily because they're simple stuff: chicken breast, some potato, and some veggies. And but they were done because they were so warm where they kept it in the plane because it's
Yeah.
it's underneath the pit. And I was like, all right, shit. But I knew I had like 500 calories left, and I texted my coach, and he's like, "What do you have in mind?" I was like, "There's a Taco Bell, and I can like eat 2 chicken tacos and call it good. I'll still be short 200 calories, but I'm happy that way." And he's like, "Yeah, go for it." And then I ate that. But my point being, you working professionals who travel, you're not gonna have the luxury of packing your meals. So how do we get around it? How did I get around it? How do you get around it? Well, it's simple. So remember how I said for traveling for 9 to 5 professionals, how to balance their meals. So those guys have the luxury of eating breakfast at home, packing their lunch and their midday snack at home, and then they come home and eat dinner at home. You guys have the same exact thing, but you guys are in hotels. You guys are at hospitals or big companies where you get to go to work, but the choices remain the same. So for your breakfast, you can actually, there's one sandwich I love eating, and it's at Starbucks, and literally is egg sandwich with turkey bacon. And I usually get 2 of it because here's the thing: if you keep the numbers in mind, you'll be successful. So think of it like this: the people who travel, people who work a 9 to 5 job, I told them to eat at least 30 grams of protein for breakfast, right? How are you going to get it when you don't have a home? Well, the way you do it is you use your per diem and you go to your trusted places for breakfast. So my place of choice is Starbucks because I love their coffee and that's what is so sustainable for me. So I go there and my only sandwich of choice is their egg sandwich with turkey bacon. And I usually get 2 of those. And in each of those sandwiches, I think there's like 15 grams of protein. Boom. And I feel like $1 million, even though like a lot of coaches will tell you about the processed, non-processed. Guys, most of you don't have that luxury. You're traveling. What the fuck? Like, there's a Starbucks at every corner of this country. There's not enough like organic fucking green smoothie places at every corner. And those things are pricey too. So 30
You could be
grams
in a
of
one horse town. There's a gas station with a single pump to fill up your horse, but there's a Starbucks next to it.
100%, 100%. And usually like I used to go to McDonald's and get like food option, but that the food there just makes me feel like shit now, so I don't go there. But Starbucks, generally a good quality, and then you can get like all of that for $10. So you got your $10 covered with that. So you got your 30 grams of protein. Now you're headed to work. You don't know who you're going to work with, and you don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty when you travel. You don't know who you're going to work with. You don't know if the hospital or that place will have a good cafeteria. But what you do know is that you have a car and you're most likely in a big city or in a nice place. So they will have all the chains. One of the places I love going for lunch when I'm traveling is 2 of the places I'll tell you is Applebee's or Chick-fil-A. And the reason I say that is Applebee's has some really good steak and potato or chicken and potato options. So that's all you need, guys. Get a bowl of broccoli, ask them to get a chicken breast with potatoes. Boom. Now you're getting another 50 to 60 grams of protein, and you got your potatoes and your veggies. Now you're going back to day one, right? Like just like you would at home, you're eating very similar things. They will have more calories because they, add oils and stuff that might not be out of your control. But the food remains very similar even when you're traveling. And I want you to be careful here. A lot of you, when you walk into the fucking Applebee's or Chick-fil-A, you have no idea what you're going to get, and you spend 10 minutes on the menu. Let me make it very easy for you. When you look at the menu, ignore all the things that look complicated or that look like the cook will have a lot of input in this. Ignore all those. Stick with simple food choices. Get a chicken wrap. Get a simple salad with a chicken breast. Get a regular breast of a steak or chicken or fish, and then add potatoes to it. And guys, make it simple for you and don't spend any more than 30 seconds on that menu. That's how I do. I have it so automatized now that I go in, I look at the menu, I'm like, I already know what I want. No questions asked. And boom, now you're at 100 grams of protein for the day, 90 to 100, okay? Then you go to work, you leave work around 3 or 4 o'clock, and then now it's time, just like every fucking day, Charlie, Susan, John, all of those people are going to tell you that, hey, you're in our town, you gotta go check out that restaurant. You gotta go there. It's the best Italian place in town. You being adventurous, you're like, I'm gonna go there. So then you go there, okay? You go there, you look at the menu, and they tell you that, hey, this is our most popular option here, and it's called this, and that. And you look at, what's in it, and you're like, for my fitness goals. See, at that point, you'll have to make a choice. A lot of you who are trying to lose weight don't have the luxury to go enjoy a lot of those crazy ass meals, because some of them are very high in calories, high in cholesterol, a lot of those things. So even then, I want you to keep it simple. I want you to get, like, if it's a Mexican restaurant that people love, get simple tacos, simple chicken tacos, and make sure you ask them what's in them, right? A simple tortilla with chicken, with fish. See, guys, it's not about eating all of this like protein. It's more about making you feel like a rock star all throughout the day. So the last thing I want you to feel like shit right after your dinner, and then the next day your performance declines. Eat with purpose. Eat with a goal. And when you start doing that, traveling is not that hard. It's not that hard. Every place, every restaurant I go to has some form of a grilled chicken sandwich or grilled this or a steak or this, right? Every place has those. So instead of going with that fancy ass Italian meal, stick with the basics, get the body you want, and once you're there, now you're at a point to where you can enjoy other things in life. Madison, what do you have to say about that?
I have some questions for you because you travel a lot more than I do. When I travel, it's rare, and I try to do that at my best too. I try to make smarter options when possible.
Right.
I'm just curious, do you ever travel with like ever tried traveling with like a hot plate and then like grabbing stuff from the grocery store and can you make that? How you ever tried that?
Yeah, so like I actually what's
Like
funny
if you're
is
really
that
lucky, the apartment the hotel will have one of those kitchenettes, but that's pretty rare, especially when the company puts you up. So I'm just curious.
yeah. So like I personally have been told many times and I've tried to make it happen. It's just that like generally for a lot of my management consultants listening or a lot of salespeople listening, what happens is a lot of these people don't have the time to go grocery shopping the day before. Like what happens is if your own company is paying for it, they will make exceptions because they love you, they're your people. But if the client is paying for it, now you're like, they're a lot stricter. So what their thing is, you have $50 a day to spend on food. So you don't have the luxury to go on a Sunday and spend $100 on everything, because they'll be like, on Sunday we only gave you 50. What the fuck is this? So and like
So, really, even if they're giving like 50 a day and you were only to spend 100 throughout, like if they were going to give you 5 days, so 200, it would be 250, but you only spend 100.
yeah.
They prefer you do the 50 a day.
Yeah, so like it's just that like you're going like even though it makes a lot of sense, corporate America is notorious for these little rules that are actually a bit annoying.
Right.
Like sometimes like I would drive, like I remember this one time, this is for the previous company I was with, the airline ticket was like $500, and I was like, I can easily just drive. I started driving and I ended up going like $5 above my per diem, so I saved the company $400 and by driving on road. But like I ended up going like $5 over for a cup of coffee or something, and then they came back, they're like, nope, can't do it, not gonna make the exception. So it's like a lot of the time you're playing with these rules that are not very fair to you. So and more often than not, like guys, like I don't want you to freak out when you like don't have that luxury of having a kitchen or having a grocery store nearby. I want you to believe that your healthy lifestyle is possible. You'll be more tired while traveling. Traveling takes a toll on your body. So,
True.
so like, but I mean, if you have the luxury, if you're in a position in corporate America or for your own business where you can actually get there a day in advance and cook your own meals, 100 fucking %. Do it. because then it's the same exact thing. Your body won't even like notice the difference, because you go to grocery store, Kroger, Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, all these big chains, sweet potatoes, vegetables, chicken, steak, oatmeal, coffee. That's it. 4, 5, 6 different choices. You cook them the exact same way. You like, if you're feeling like a baller, go buy a new Tupperware if you need to for those few days. And then boom, you're good. And then you cook them, and then you're ready to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so it's just about making it work for you. But if you don't have the luxury with your job or whatever, your boss doesn't like it, then go to the restaurants and stick to the basics. If you like salads, go for it. But a lot of you who actually lift weights, salads won't be very filling. And that's why Madison and I were recommending like sweet potatoes or something with like actually some substance. Because salads are great for micronutrients. Ribeye, hell yeah. And salads are great for micronutrients, but salads suck for macronutrients. Like you'll just feel like, okay.
Fuck salads. No, fuck salads.
There you go.
My food eats salads. Therefore, if you eat salads, you're my food.
100%. But hopefully do you think that was pretty clarifying?
Yeah. I think so. But I think regardless if you're able to do that or not, having those skills to go to a restaurant, even at home, like let's say you like it's a Friday, so you already did all week. You went, you had your meals prepped and you're a 9 to 5er, but it's the weekend and your friends we're going out to eat or whatever, and you want to be social and go. Being able to go to that restaurant and be able to make a good choice about it and be able to navigate a menu. And do the best you can do there without blowing things out is an important skill, whether you're traveling or not, I think. So I think that's something that everybody can benefit from learning how to do.
100%. And I think I'll add something here. If you feel like in order to make traveling a healthy lifestyle easier, you have to have your home lifestyle in order. So when you don't travel, what do you actually do? Are you still fucking around, or are you actually serious about this? Because traveling, I know a lot of people, and I travel a lot too, but no one is traveling all 4 weeks of the month. No one. So you're going to be home more often too. And when you're at home, is your diet dialed in? Or is your diet semi-dialed in? Or is your diet not dialed in at all? And then when you travel, you start looking for those. Like, guys, like
cookies and ice cream, bro.
Right? Like when you're at home, really hone in on that. Like get your diet on 99% good diet. Like you can enjoy, guys, you can enjoy like an ice cream here and there. Like go for it. This is your life. You only have one fucking life. So don't stress out about it. But I want you to do is be aware of it. So then like you do that at home, you're 99% adhering it to your goals. And then when you travel, even if that 99% comes down to 85%, you're still gold. You're still gold. Like you're still good because your body is forgiving. It's not very forgiving, but it's still pretty forgiving. And
you can be 80-20 unless you're going right into a contest, right? Unless you're prepping for a show and you're just trying to get in shape, you for most of the time, unless you're you've been hitting a wall for a while, you're probably good at 80-20. But and with those couple exceptions that I mentioned.
I totally agree. 80-20 is a great rule to go by. And then guys, like last thing I would say is when you're traveling, do not, and I mean do not, leave your workouts for the evening. Get them done first thing in the morning. Wake up early. And I mean it when I say it. Because let's say, and guys, I love this. I actually really love this topic because I can give real practical advice on this because I live it every day. So when you're traveling, the 9 to 5 people have the luxury of knowing who they go to work with. They have the luxury of being like, yep, Karen is going to be pissed today because it's Monday. Johnny's going to be happy like always. Charlie, I don't know. So you can predict it. But when you are a management consultant, when you are a sales executive, 9 times out of 10, you have no clue who you're going to work with on a Monday, right? So the last thing I want you to do is feel like have your energy robbed by those people because you didn't do the work. So the best thing you can do is on a Monday when you have to go to work at 9, wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. Yeah, I said it right, 4 or 5 a.m. Every hotel that I've been to, and I've been to hundreds, have a small or a big gym. Go to that gym, right? Get a workout in. Every day have a focus. Don't go into the hotel gym thinking that, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I just want to be healthy. Be in the mindset that today is back day, today is chest day, today is this day, and make the most out of that equipment, okay? So then you get your workout done. You come back to your hotel room, you get a good shower, you put on your suit, and then you go to work. You have a good breakfast. But that assures you guys is no matter who's at work, you already did the homework. You're mentally happy. Your day has already begun. So then it's very like minimal that somebody will ruin your day. You've already started. Like I've had this happen so many times when like I would do my morning routine and everything is good, and then I would go to work and I would have like really shitty people I'm working with, but my day is still fucking hyped up. I'm still happy because I've already done the sets of squats. I've already done the work. And when you do the work, no one can take, like, you're already feeling good. So prioritize morning workouts, because who knows what's going to happen that evening. You might come home really tired and then you're going to skip your workout. You might come home and being like, shit, that was a late day. Like you come home at 8 o'clock at night and then you have to go back at, 7 a.m. next day. So don't leave the workouts for the evenings, especially you traveling professionals. Get them done in the mornings, because then you're setting yourself up for double success. Was that good or not?
Yeah, absolutely. And a good point you made in there that I wanted to make earlier for the 9 to 5ers too, but I forgot, is that when you are in the gym, you want to be in there with a vengeance. You want to be there with the purpose. You want to be getting shit done and getting the most out of your time, getting the most out of every set, every rep, and just, giving your all to everything you do. And this way you won't need 3 hours in the gym. You'll only need that hour and a half or what have you, because you're training effectively and smart and hard. So make the most of your time traveling and at home.
And then you just live a normal life. So just to go through the checklist again, you got your morning workout done. You're going to eat eggs and turkey bacon for breakfast to get your protein, like at Starbucks. And then for lunch, you're going to go to Chick-fil-A, or you're going to go to Applebee's, and you're going to get the same shit, chicken breast with potatoes, or Chick-fil-A has really good grilled chicken sandwiches, really good. So if you're ever traveling, Chick-fil-A is a really good place to go. And one of the cheaper ones too. So you got those protein checklists up, and then for your dinner, go to a place that those people suggest you go to. I fucking love this podcast right now, because we would not be able to give this advice if we were just random people trying to act like we were corporate America people, because there's so many fucking people who work at like Starbucks down the street who think they're in corporate America. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like, you just can't give that advice. And the reason I'm giving this advice is because this is like really years of practice. Like, guys, we did zero homework for this podcast, but we know it so well. It's like coming right off the tongue.
We live it.
We live it. So I want you to just, take this advice seriously and actually put it to work, because it will help you. It definitely will help you. Morning workout, Starbucks sandwiches, the egg and turkey ones are really good. Then chicken breast with some potatoes for lunch with a Diet Coke or whatever you like. And then for dinner, go to a place that your coworkers suggest that you go to in that town. You go there, you still go with the same food. It'll be a different flavor. It'll be a different something. But the food choices you should be to prioritize protein, because just like we said earlier, getting carbs is so much easier when you're traveling. It's all over the place. Getting protein is the trick, and everything, when you schedule everything around protein, you are setting yourself up for success. So do that, and then, morning workout, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you come home, take a shower, go to bed, get a good night rest, and nothing has changed. That's life. Like, everything feels normal at that point, right? Like, you literally made something that looked really complicated, fitness, healthy lifestyle, while on the road, so much easier. We just like literally broke it down for you. And if you don't know where to start with this podcast. But also, if you're really confused and you're like, Mo, that advice doesn't work for me, you know what you need to do? You need to message me or Madison or email engineeredmuscle1@gmail.com, and let's get you signed up for one of our one-on-one coaching. And I'm not here pitching that product because fuck shitty salespeople. I hate that. Like always, posting about their shit. The point is, guys, I want you guys to reach your fitness goals. I want you guys to figure this thing out. This is the reason we do this podcast. Like, we have other things to do on a Saturday morning, guys. Like, there are better
I gotta get to the gym.
Yeah, they're better. Like, I have to eat my meal. I'm hungry. And like, there are better things to do in life than just sit in front of a computer and talk. So the reason we do this is because we genuinely want to help you. And we want you guys to reach your fitness goals. And if you need our help to take it to that next level, if that general advice doesn't apply to you, which is probably a lot of you, because we're generalizing a lot of this. And if that general advice doesn't apply to you, work with us one-on-one. We'll take you there because we know we can. Like,
yeah, and we'll tailor make it for you. We'll set you up to optimize. Again, this is engineered muscle. We will optimize you and optimize it for your life and your goals.
And as you guys know, a lot of trainers talk about health and fitness, but very few know your lifestyle. And trust me and Madison live it on that level. So we know the itty-gritty office, traveling, airlines, all of that. And if you need help with specifics for your health, we're the guys to go to. And with that, guys, we'll wrap this up. Any concluding remarks, Madison?
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you've been loving the podcast so far. Leave us your questions and ideas for future topics and things you want to know down below in the comments section, or email us at engineeredmuscle1@gmail.com. As always, it was a pleasure to do this for you guys. We hope you guys are getting so much value out of this. We love doing. I know me and Mo both love doing this just to fucking help you guys out.
And like,
what's up?
And we love doing it. Plus, like, we're not holding anything back. We're giving you guys the straight up truth, and because we're just we want to help you guys out. We genuinely care about people. This is not about making money. This is not about being popular. This is about helping real people who are out there. So we want you to be successful in this. And with that, guys, I hope this helped you guys who are, people who are working professionals, 9-to-5ers, people who travel a lot. The fitness lifestyle is for you as well. It's not just for people who, have all the time in the world. You guys can still make it work. So with that, guys, I look forward to hearing your feedback. Let us know if you guys have any other topics you want us to talk about. And with that, peace, and have a great rest of your week, and keep kicking ass.
Enjoy your day.
All right.